Low. It should kick in set. Yeah. Give it a sec. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, it's come through. The score is on. Yeah, which one is it? The fix your score sheet. Yeah. All right.
We'll get the score.
Because it should be. He just scored
3-1.
No,
3-2.
Yeah. Let me go into live stream. It should be. Yeah. Overlay.
What overlay?
Score overlay.
I wasn't even running, that's why. I don't know if it's the right one. No, that's not the right one. Come on. Always something going wrong. You just need to update the score. The clock you can get if you know the rough time.
Oh, no. It's about to go.
Yeah, it's about to go.
Oh.
I know the score.
You've got to turn the...
Yeah, no, you do that here.
Oh,
Use your phone again, please. Sorry. Technical shit,
Start
mate.
a fresh second half.
Does this happen on Let's Talk Tag?
Eh?
Does this happen on Let's Talk Tag?
It's still apparently Westfield.
Yes, mate. Hey? Good. Good. See ya. Goodbye.
I can hear him say he's capital.
Murphy.
Just don't say 3P tag, people get upset.
I'll go around there.
Yeah. So what score was
3-2.
to hashtag?
Yeah.
You heard you say the free P tag. 3-2.
Did you see the whinging about the late tag?
What?
His old mate's whinging about the late tag.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? It's 2 kicks through. He's kicking in the line.
Yeah.
And he's whinging for late tag. So no, you're in the line.
Someone going that way? So that's
It's
us?
going that way. No, it's not your team.
Yeah.
Audio's on.
That's right. Didn't say anything else.
The overlay should come up.
All good.
All good.
Does it look alright?
Oh,
Does now.
it does now. It was pretty bad earlier. Like,
Yeah.
fidgeting.
Any mistakes to make on camera? None. Not getting.
It's the ref, so it doesn't matter. So.
Oh, look, the kick was questionable.
Was that
Yeah, so score it. That's us. Hashtag starts top. And then just add.
I can see you from over here. I can even see you looking at it going, wasn't
Just gonna put the overlay, and that should come up here in a sec.
I would have definitely given it. Yeah. Well, I give it a bit of better. Yeah, I know it wasn't a little creepy. Yeah, it was I was on it, and where my wife so it seems higher down there than it is where I am. So that could be that's the other part of it.
I stream the games all night.
Yeah, 3 games. 3 games a night. We did it on that field over there, and it's actually not bad on that field because you're in front of the light, and the light's right behind you. Whereas here, later on, when it gets quite dark. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, the score's up, but it's not reflected of what I got here on the app. Yeah, it should be 3-2. It's 1/4 ready to go. And it's got 20 minutes as well. Does that count down? Because I remember we used to always just count up. Let me reset that.
Got the time already.
All right. Shazza.
Sheree, you lead the tackle count. Hey, you've made more.
You want to start?
You start.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to round 4 of Penrith PREMTAG. We've had a bit of technical difficulties in the first half, which we've kind of sorted. The scoring is still having a bit of issues. However, I've got a special guest commentator here with me in Adele to discuss everything PREMTAG, everything Oztag, and his history with Penrith Oztag. I'm going to take this off. So Adele, your history at Penrith, you've been well, first of all, congratulations on winning mixed opens at the last state. Was it the last state cup?
No,
Yeah,
it was 2 state cups ago. Cup.
COVID Cup.
We won COVID.
That hasn't happened for a while. So, how many years are we talking?
For Penrith Mixed Open, I think it was 15 years between drinks.
Yeah.
So that was pretty special for the crew.
Yeah.
Sorry to stop a little bit. We've just seen a bit of
an injury.
Someone's gone down. I think that's Bailey Hughes, is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a bit rattled actually watching that.
Yeah,
Hopefully he's okay.
he might have hurt.
Hopefully we can
Yeah.
somehow
Someone get some
signify
medical.
some medical here. But
Yeah.
yeah,
so-
no, it was a long time between drinks for the club in any Opens division, so it was really nice. So, Jamie and Howard, the Howard family in general, we've got a good relationship, and obviously it's not my home club. I didn't play ever here in my junior years, but through our connection, I've always felt a bit of an attachment to the club, and every opportunity I get to come coach here, I have in the past.
Yeah.
We went a couple of years of some drive spells, but winning that mixed opens was a pretty special moment. Probably, it'd be up there with one of the best ones I've had in tag.
Yeah, I actually watched that grand final, and it was actually quite close, and it had quite a mix of your West Tigers crew from a couple of years back in that GF. It went down to the wire, and it was I think your semi-final apparently was the game of the tournament.
Yeah, semi-final was probably our true test of character. We were down 4-0 in that game, but I think that game sort of can signify that how important experience is. Like, we had a lot of youngsters on that side, but in that game in particular, it was people you're seeing out on the field here. Cherie Davies and Tiana Scanlon, who were the two that got us back with some girls' tries in that game. And that, I think Souths in that tournament were the best team in the tournament, if I'm being brutally honest. And I think just a bit of experience got us past them on that occasion. And yeah, the final came around, and again, a lot of the crew you're seeing out there at the moment with the hashtag team is a lot of the guys that were involved in that game, and Benny Davies was a standout. So that was it was satisfying. It's good. Winning's always good. You know what it feels like.
I must admit it is good. Our senior mixed have been in a couple of GFs lately, so I'm not complaining around there. So PREMTAG and Penrith comp, the two teams that are on field right now in hashtag, and that's us. Foundation teams for PREMTAG. We've been in the clubs and been in the system for pretty much day one, and they've been consistently the top, and kind of in a lot of GFs together, and there's a bit of a rivalry there. So what do you think allows that quality to stay so high for such a long period of time? We got a lot of the young ones coming through, and they seem to just continue to keep that quality at such a high level, and they seem to be always the teams to beat.
Well, that's us been around for a very, very long time. I think in the overall scheme of things, hashtag probably not as long, but I think the ever-growing talent. I mean, this is a football town. Penrith is all about footy, and they're experiencing really good success on the rugby league field at NRL level, and I think it's bred all around the area. Everyone loves playing footy out here, no matter what type of footy it is. So, it was always going to be the case that once Penrith Oztag got its feet up, I'm trying to think, it would have been about 12, 13 years ago when Jamie really started to instill a lot of structures into the game. It was always going to be that it was going to flourish out here with the right people running the competitions, and then that's filtered into representative tag as we continue. But obviously this Prem tag, Jamie, the one thing about Jamie, he's not one-dimensional. He doesn't sort of sit on his heels and think, my comp's going okay, I'll just watch it keep going. He's always open to ideas, and he's always listening to people and see what the players want, and providing this sort of competition, these sort of resources. Let's be honest, I mean, who live streams local comp? It doesn't happen, and I guarantee you this will be a this will be a trailblazing moment for different competitions in our in our game. And I think over time you'll start to see a bit more of these sort of competitions where you get elite players playing each other, not just at rec tournaments but week in, week out, and it can only be healthy for the competition.
And it must help also with your preparation into tournaments. Like if you're putting in your teams in, and you're essentially putting in majority of your nationals and your state cup teams, it allows an avenue where you can practice. Like let's be honest, like local comp and rep type games is completely different. You know, it's kick any tackle. You've got to always be on your toes. You've got a lot of avenues to get the ball back. So it must be a big advantage that Jamie and co have kind of put this on and allow, and also Oztag Australia have allowed us to put in such a rep style type competition.
Yeah, it is. I'll be honest. I think that as much as it can be seen to be something as a preparation, I'd actually love to see the players sort of mix and match, and we can get guys that always play or girls that always play together start coming up against maybe their friends and whatnot. I think it creates a bit more competition, but you know, in its infancy, I think it's being used pretty much as a preparation for nationals with a lot of, well, some of the teams. Let's not say a lot of the teams. I think we've got the Tigers senior mixed are pretty much one team. The mixed 20s are pretty much one team, and obviously Hashtag have got a pretty big chunk of the mixed opens team in it. All the balls down there. We're a bit in delay, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you just want quality tag being played, and the more you play it, especially for young people, especially those coming from 20s coming up, playing opens division, sometimes it's a bit of a rude shock when you get up to that division. All of a sudden, you actually realise that it's a little bit faster, a little bit tougher, especially when they're playing mixed. You know, so, you know, without being a little bit out of line, sometimes it can come a little bit easy in the 20s grades. When you get up to mixed opens, the girl that you think's a little bit easier to get past in the 20s, it's not as easy as when they get a bit older, a bit more experienced. So it can only benefit the game and benefit the Penrith Oztag Association, and I guess it's up to other districts to sort of catch up.
And having a tournament or a competition of PREMTAG quality, it obviously benefits the players, but I'm assuming it also benefits the development of the referees, and having referees referee a high quality rep game, which they probably would only do at tournaments, and be able to do it on a weekly basis. You'd be able to develop the young ones coming through and giving them the confidence that they can, go away and be able to ref at a high quality by having all that extra practice.
Yeah, I'm not going to ever say that there's never pressure on referees, but this is definitely a lot less pressure than refereeing at a state cup or at a national tournament. But you're right, it does provide them that opportunity, especially at local level, that the pathways aren't necessarily there when you get to going between local comp, refereeing a pretty slow game when it comes to local comp, to then all of a sudden getting up to a representative tournament and having to keep up with the pace of being put on an opens division competition. So it's definitely an avenue that you can actually get yourself prepared. They don't train much, I don't think, referees in the lead up to tournaments like the players do. So these sort of things can actually give you that match fitness as a referee, if you want to call it that. Being able to go up and down with games like this one. This is a mixed opens quality representative game that we're seeing tonight. So I think it's perfect for referees. Yeah.
Well, I remember when I brought it to the referees' attention and kind of said we're doing this, that they were really on board, and they said it's a long time coming, and I think the players as well. If you look at the amount of teams and the quality of the teams, like, in the past it kind of dropped off a little bit with only a couple of good teams that essentially were quite stacked, whereas I think every team this comp has a chance now, especially with the rep rules. It brings the game a bit closer, because the fast guys or fast girls that can put a little kick in behind the line, or and it's essentially proper rep rules that it's just going to open up the games a little bit more and put you on your toes essentially a little bit more.
I also think it allows those that play at our local competitions that don't go up to tournaments the opportunity to see what the elite game looks like.
Yeah.
Like, you turn around, like, obviously we're watching this game here, you turn around on the field behind us, the game is very different when it's played at just the local park rules, which is 90% of our game is grassroots and what you see at local comp. So the opportunity for those people to actually go, okay, well, this is what elite tag looks like. You'll see some parents that have got kids that are playing in the juniors, and obviously junior tag isn't this sort of level. They get the opportunity to see what it's actually like when you're playing at senior level, because as you can see with this game going on right now, it's a different beast to what you'd see at a local comp. But like, even PREMTAG's been around now for I think 4 or 5 years in Penrith. Yeah. We've never played it under rep rules. This is the first time we do it. These two teams have played each other a lot in the past. This is another level of quality as to what we're watching tonight. Some people may not appreciate it and understand it as much, but the pace of the game is just so quick. Seeing the referee walk off at half time, he was sweating. You wouldn't see that normally on on a local comp game, even with this quality of players, just the difference in rules and the subtle adjustments means that you're able to do what Matty Pereira just did then, and you guys probably see it a little bit earlier than us, but kick early, turn teams around. You've got to have a few more subs. The representative players literally come to local comp, they could play a whole game. Whereas at rep comp, you can't do that under these sort of rules. So it's good, it's enjoyable. It's my first night here. I was excited to get out of here. Don't always get the opportunity on a Tuesday night because of work and whatnot, but it's good to be here tonight and I want to come back again.
I appreciate you jumping on, Adele, and again, apologies for the technical issues that we had earlier. One thing, me and Jamie discussed when we were putting the concept together around rep rules was at rep trials, essentially it's over one weekend, and some people might not know people and they sit behind. Having a comp like this allows an avenue where you can come down as coaches and you can look at someone at the rep level at such a high level and kind of say, listen, I want to pick you in my squad, or or we pick squads out of a comp like this, because obviously the Tomos and the Smithies and the people that have been in the rep system for a long time have that aura around them, and they, and a lot of people hide behind them. Having a comp like this allows the people that are playing with mates to stand out a little bit more, and then you obviously as coaches get to see them a little bit more. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. Jamie knows my opinion on it. I think as a coach, you definitely want to see people playing local comp. That's the first thing, because, bit of an unwritten rule about the game. Sometimes you feel like that people don't play enough local comp to support their competitions, but a competition like this would definitely play a big role in your opinions of individuals and whether you think they could handle a step up in grade, let's call it, or whether you think that their fitness levels are up to scratch, and they can also get a gauge on their individual levels. So it's definitely beneficial. While I'm here, Luana Peters has been asking me about the score. It's 5-4 to hashtag, because I think it's not coming up on the screen.
It's not coming through.
So the score is 5-4 to hashtag. But yeah, definitely it's something that I'm not going to lie. We're having this chat and I'm watching some of the individuals that are in my squad, because we don't start training until the new year. So it's interesting seeing where people's condition is at the moment. Is a bit of an opportunity.
I was kind of leading into my next question around how your team is looking, prepping for nationals, and obviously you answered that question already. But we've heard it on your Let's Talk tag. Obviously you don't go into a tournament not to win, but do you think there's any other associations that are competition for you guys at nationals?
Well, the beauty of it is it's always an unknown. You can never sort of turn up to a tournament and expect what you're going to expect from teams. You don't want to ever go in with a preconceived idea of what team squads are. Usually after the first day, you can sort of make a little bit of an assessment and you can sort of judge that, but I'm not going to be that person that says, we're worried about ourselves, because I don't. I want to know who we're playing and who we're coming up against and what their strengths and weaknesses are, and I'll try to work to that as much as possible. Really comfortable with the squad I've got, so when you go in with a really, really good squad, if we go back to the COVID Cup we won, we call it COVID Cup, we didn't have that. It was probably not one of our strongest squads we've ever had or I've ever coached, and that was a lot of individual brilliance, but some will and just improvements as the weekend went by. This is a very talented squad I've got coming into this next tournament. The preparation will be key, but I'm not the type of person that likes to go long on your preparation. I think the closer you get to the tournament, put a bit of onus on the players to have their fitness up to a certain level, and then hopefully the experienced players that we've got in the squad will allow us to sort of go through training. I'll be honest, the coaching's done for me now, man. Like when you got players who've been coached by you for a long time, as the kids have turned up.
No.
Who are these kids? Who are you guys? Minnie Winnie sitting in front of us. But they look after it for you. They know the standards of their team, and they understand what it takes to win competitions. And people that come into the squad, I don't even have to do the worry about sort of discipline and all that sort of stuff. The accountability is helped from the players. So nothing. I'll be honest, I haven't changed the way I coach, our calls, our plays. Everything's the same since it's been from day dot.
Just no scoring in trial games. That's and the people that score in trial games. I know how you feel about that. I'm only joking.
Yeah. That's. I think that's. I find it funny. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
What was the score? What was the score?
It doesn't really matter if you do, but it doesn't really count. In my opinion, it's almost like it doesn't really.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really matter what we look like in trial games.
Yeah.
I even talk about it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And if it's a piece of advice I've ever given coaches that I've spoken to during tournaments, it's like, if you're confident with your team on Friday, if you feel like you're going to get better and better, it don't really matter what your score lines look like on Fridays at tournaments.
Something to build towards.
Yeah. I mean, you don't ever want to get caught short and think, well, we'll be okay come Sunday. It's more like you've just got to see whether your team's going. And I'll be honest, like on most occasions, someone like Omar Caddick, who I talk to a lot, whether he's involved or not involved, he'll always text me during a tournament and he'll always ask me, how you's going? Can you win it? And I'll know. Like I've literally known on Saturday whether we're a chance or whether, I've at times told him flat out, I will win this and have that confidence. And sometimes it's a good feeling to have when you feel confident, crap feeling to have when you think, we're in a bit of trouble here. But it's exciting. We love the game. I mean, full credit to you guys. I know many people won't know this out there, but you've played a big role in getting this concept up and running, and I think it's something that a lot of other competitions will definitely look at.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Adele. Thank you for jumping on. Hopefully, we'll get you on. We'll do a dual commentary with like a rival or something like that in the coming weeks. But yeah, I really do appreciate you jumping on.
Do I have rivals?
I don't know if you. I don't know.
There's plenty of
I think the Let's Talk tag on the state competition.
Rolled
a few people.
It was actually interesting that on that. That's a nice play. So one of the people who got angry with me was someone I complimented. That's always a good thing when you get someone angry who actually.
And did I actually text you after? Obviously.
Yeah, Clint Moss blasted me. Clint Moss blasted me.
Mossy, you need to calm down, Mossy.
I love him. Yeah, he told me off for complimenting him, which is, hey, I'll take that. But that's another good platform. I'll give it a bit of a shout out. Yeah. It's a good platform. I think we try to engage people. Not everybody agrees with what we have to say, but we try to form some discussions and open up doors. And obviously we've done one tournament, but the idea is the next tournament come around, hopefully a few more people like yourself are a bit more comfortable to sort of profile our teams, give some teams exposure, give the game a bit more exposure like you guys are doing here. Yeah. We want to be able to do that so that the players that are in our competitions are given a bit more than what they have been in the 100%. Past. So.
All right. Appreciate you, Adele. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, bro.
No, Robert!
Like you guys shake hands and
Yeah, that's true. It's an etiquette thing.
I know, but you shook hands people could see it was good.
There's got to be a way where you
I'm going to
can
go
get
get a clipboard and do the All-Star game so they can still hear us.
What's the All-Star game?
So we have an All-Star game, so we pick like top 3 guys and girls for each team for each game, and then we'll make an All-Star. We're doing an All-Star game.
That's cool.
You can talk about that on there if you want. It's all right.
What happened? Oh, right across the field.
I draw the line and change it after.
Any rubbish, make sure you pick it up.